Hey everyone, this is Aliyah. Welcome to EnglishSponge. Today I have a special guest with me. His name is Hasan, and Hasan and I met through comprehensible input. Those of you who have seen some of my videos about my own language journey know that Arabic is a language that I have been learning, and Hasan is the creator of Arabic All the Time, a CI platform that has a library of Arabic videos that I am a daily user of. So I am super grateful to Hasan, and I'm really excited to have a conversation with him today. How are you doing today, Hasan?
Hi, Aliyah. Thanks for having me. I'm doing great, and thanks for the introduction.
Of course. So, first of all, I would love to know CI creator to CI creator. What made you decide that you wanted to start making content for comprehensible input in Arabic?
Great question. It came after a life-changing experience learning Spanish through comprehensible input. Similar to most speakers, studied English in school, the traditional way and the hard way. So I knew for certain that I did not want to replicate that. Traditional language learning is something very difficult, very tiring, and not fun. Not fun. It's ugly. So I was curious to I gained some interest in learning Spanish, and I was curious to see if there was a way to learn this language without going through all this suffering that comes with traditional language learning. And one day, one quiet evening in Toronto, I was sitting in a coffee shop, and I watched a video, which I later discovered that this is called comprehensible input, of a girl from Madrid acting out what she's talking about, and I was able to follow along her video without knowing any Spanish. It was my first ever exposure to Spanish. It shocked me. I was like, wow, I could understand everything she was saying without knowing a single word in Spanish. And that was like the light bulb moment in my life where I discovered comprehensible input. And after that, I went accumulating hours in Spanish to see whether it's gonna work. And like it was more of a test, honestly. I wasn't too desperate to learn Spanish, but I just got so curious to see this method, and I got obsessed with the method, and it worked like magic. My comprehension increased significantly over time, and gradually I found myself speaking, uttering words in Spanish, which was a very fulfilling experience. So I would say I learned Spanish purely through comprehensible input. I never opened a book, never taken any classes, and it got me to a level where I'm conversational. I'm still acquiring Spanish. I'm not gonna use the word fluent. However, I can converse in the language just after 2 years of receiving input daily. I'm currently at 770 hours of listening in Spanish.
Amazing.
So while I was learning Spanish through comprehensible input, I searched, does this exist for Arabic? And the answer was not really. There are some YouTubers, some hobbyists who make comprehensible input videos in Arabic. However, there isn't anything like not a central library with so many videos that you can filter through levels with and topic and dialect. This didn't exist, so I decided to build Arabic All the Time, which is the first and largest comprehensible input library for Arabic at the moment. We have more than 330 videos at the moment, and we're growing daily. Each day we add a new video. And yeah, it was just, I felt that Arabic deserved to have what Spanish and other languages have. And because it didn't exist, I had to create it. And quickly I realized that building a comprehensible input library is very similar to learning a language through comprehensible input. It's something you don't see, you don't have a great sense of progress. You don't see the results immediately. But after a while, after 6 months, after a period of time, you look back and you'll be like, wow, I've came a very long way.
Right.
And yeah, this is where we're at, and this is what aspired me to build Arabic All the Time. It was my experience, my fascinating experience with Spanish.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing that. I think all of us at EnglishSponge feel very similarly. We can definitely relate to that experience. All of us are users of comprehensible input for Spanish, and have been really happy with the results, happy with the process, happy with how it feels to learn through input versus traditional ways, and definitely inspired all of us to make content in English. So we have a lot in common. And I also am extremely grateful that you realized that there was a need for that in Arabic, because like I've told you many times, I wasn't maintaining my Arabic because I didn't know what the right thing to do was. It wasn't instilled in me to listen every day or to get input every day as a way to, keep up my knowledge or to learn more. And it's a huge gap that is now being filled, which I'm very grateful for. So let's actually switch gears a little bit. I would love to hear more about your experience learning English, because clearly you are a fluent English speaker, but it's not your first language. So how did that happen?
Yeah, it was a long journey with English, honestly, and an interesting journey. I would say I tried so many different ways until eventually I got to, feel comfortable in the language. I'm like most people everywhere in the world. I studied English in school. I say I studied English, but I did not learn English. I studied the grammar. I studied, memorized words. But as we all know, anyone in Brazil, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Tunisia, anywhere in the world, they would, everyone shares a very similar experience. No one actually learns English from school. Almost every single person I've met in a country where English isn't a dominant language, if you ask them how did you learn, they tell you, and they're like usually a very small percentage of the population, they tell you through movies, music, and media in general. These are the few who make it. They make it through input, basically. Movies and media, they're not the greatest type of input for beginners, and yeah, I would say I did not learn. I would not count anything prior to my adult life. Anything prior to me, like as an adult, as a 19-year-old adult, I had knowledge, some knowledge of English, but I could not understand it. I could not speak it. I understood the grammar very well, but I couldn't use it for, like, what do you need the grammar if you don't have the vocabulary? So my journey, actually, my real journey started when I left my home country, Syria, due to the civil war that started. And the war actually started in 2012. There were stuff prior, but the actual war in Syria started in 2012. And in summer 2012, I went on a vacation with my family, and we never returned. We got stuck because the situation in Syria deteriorated significantly. So, I was in Saudi Arabia. I was stuck in Saudi Arabia, and I had to rebuild my life. And I realized I could not build my life without learning English. Anywhere I wanted to go, even if I wanted to go to Germany or Spain, I needed English with another language. English was quickly became a must to continue my life, to rebuild my life that the war stole from me. So I started doing what I was taught to do, which is coming up with vocabulary lists, trying to memorize. Quickly, I signed up for the British Council. I don't know if the listeners are familiar. It's a big institute globally. I signed up for the British Council in Riyadh. I did it for 3 months, which improved my grammar I reached to my grammar level. I became a master, but did not help me, speak the language. And
this sounds very similar to my experience with Arabic, but let's continue.
Yeah, I remember when you told me your story, I felt like it resonated with me so much because I think we shared very, very similar path line. So after while I was taking the courses, I was also trying to memorize vocabulary, but I did reading and listening at the same time. So lots of people said, Hasan, you need to listen. So I did not know comprehensible input. I had no clue of, that you need to listen to something that you can understand, not just listen to anything. And this generic advice, which can be very frustrating and can very harmful for for the ego. When people tell you to listen and they say, oh, just watch movies and you're gonna learn. It doesn't work that way. I tried. I did not feel I was making any progress. I think understanding is crucial. You need to listen, but you need to understand what you're listening to. And by understanding, I do not mean knowing every single word. Is understanding the messages being communicated. So I tried watching movies, but could not. It did not work, like, at all. It actually was more discouraging than encouraging. I think it did more harm than good. It made me feel that, oh, this is impossible. I'm just not gonna learn English. I was preparing for the IELTS test, which is, I bet many people listening maybe have it on their to-do list or have tried it before. But because thanks to my strong grammars, and thanks for like my traditional schooling in Syria, which is very harsh and very rough, I was able to to do the IELTS, and I got 6.5. While I didn't consider myself to be good in the language. So I got a great score, good enough to get any admission in any American university or any English-speaking university. Most universities for undergrad, they ask for 6 in IELTS, and I got the score, but it's because I obsessed with studying for the exam. And because I did so many sample exams.
The thing about exams is that you're really learning how to pass the exam more than you're learning the language.
100%. And I'm so good at that. I'm so good at learning how to pass exams. So I did well on the IELTS. It's not a good reflection of my true English, my true comprehension or speaking ability. So I passed the exam. We can say I passed the exam. I got the score I needed. And then eventually this transitional period ended with me traveling to the UAE first for a period, and then moving to the United States, where my true learning experience started. So when I arrived in the States, I arrived in Portland, Oregon, going from the Gulf countries to to Portland, Oregon was a very interesting, very interesting transition. And but people were super nice. People are so nice in the northwest of the states, and Washington and Oregon. And Portland, Oregon was fantastic. So I remember arriving in the airport, and I tried to speak with the security guard. I did not understand anything he was saying. It was a big failure, and that's when it hit me that my IELTS score meant nothing. So I arrived in Portland, and then my college, they were like, okay, you have the IELTS, but you need to do a placement test. We don't trust. We have in-house English placement test, and depending on your result in the placement test, we place you. Whether you're ready to start your college or not, you need to do ESL. So I did the placement test, and I got scored in a level where I needed 3 additional quarters, which is equivalent to 9 months of study. Each quarter was 3 months, so I needed 3 levels to. So I was far, like almost a year far from being able to take classes. So I felt very disappointed because, I couldn't, I had to spend a year or 9 months studying English and not be able to get back to my real studies, which was civil engineering, the field I started in Syria, and I had to restart in the US. However, I obsessed with reusing all the resources on campus during the first 3 months. So I went in, talking to people, trying to talk to people. So that gave me lots of input. In the classes themselves, I don't think they did that much. They just helped me. I don't even say they helped me improve my grammar, because my grammar was so good. For me, it was it was so easy.
The classes are like the minimum amount of exposure you need to keep the process going, but you really need to take advantage of the environment to surge forward.
Exactly, and that's exactly what happened. I did not learn in the classroom. However, I was surrounded by lots of international students from Japan, from Korea, Taiwan, from all over the world. And we had to communicate. You want to make friends, and I made friends very quickly, and English was the language we used to communicate. And because none of us were, all of us were in about the same level, so there wasn't any shame, we felt comfortable speaking English to each other. And that helped significantly in improving my English. And at the same time, there was a great service in my college, which I'm super grateful for my college. It was Portland Community College. I still send them my warmest, heartfelt, gratitude for what they helped me to accomplish in this college. In PCC, Portland Community College, there was a writing center, and in the writing center, there were volunteers who would help correct the writing, but there were also volunteers who would speak with native speakers, people from the US who were there just to help people like me practice their English and converse in English. So I exploited that that resource to the max.
Yeah.
And
I think I told you this recently, but when I was in college, I actually had that job. I worked part-time in like the tutoring center of my university, and I was a English conversation partner and writing tutor for those students who were in those English courses who needed to pass before they could go on, move on to their normal coursework. So that's really, I think I told you that before, but it's good to know that, I felt like I had an impact on those students, and it was a good job for me on campus, but it's really nice to hear that like you were able to like take advantage of a resource like that, and that it made a difference for you.
It made a significant difference. It was, I feel like I love all these people, these volunteers who helped me along the way. And I still remember some of their faces. It's been like so many years after, I still remember some of their faces and some of the early conversations I had in English. And the writing center was a great way for me to. I obsessed with writing. I loved writing. I think my writing is my strongest ability in English, and it was thanks to that writing center, because there was always someone who explained why and how to improve, and it was polished there. I had a strong foundation in grammar, which made my writing flawless, but I was, it got the polish there in that writing center in Portland. And there was another thing now that after, having received some, my level improved, I went back to movies, and suddenly now movies became comprehensible. So I remember spending so much time. I remember all my weekends were just watching movies. Easily on a Sunday, I would watch 4 to 5 movies, like easily, which is, 10 hours sitting in front of a screen, just binge watching a movie after another. And it makes sense. Back then I didn't understand it. Just after reflecting now, I understand. Suddenly, when I had strong enough base, the same tool, the same input when it became comprehensible, it helped me a lot in improving. So I can easily say that within 3 months, I lived pure optimized, probably the most optimized immersion case. So by the end of the 3 months, I decided, and I had only one chance to redo the placement test. I decided to use that chance, and I redid the placement test, and I was ready to start my college. So I skipped 6 months of studying. I skipped it. And by the way, my story is public online for people who are interested to know more about my experience in BCC. It's you can just write my name in Portland Community College. It's there. It's online. I was interviewed multiple times by my college for this fascinating journey.
Great.
And after that, I would say for the next 6 months, my English kept improving at a rapid pace, but then it started plateauing because I became comfortable in the language. And I still learn until today. I learn so many words and new words. It just it just happens at a lower frequency. I think reading nonfiction is still a challenge for me. I encounter many words that I don't know. I was more interested in nonfiction to do more reading to improve. But I think, as I told you before, that I'm currently, English is not something I actively work on improving. So after that period, it just became a part of who I am, part of my life, and yeah, it's been so many years now since then. I've been in North America for 13 years now, so yeah.
Yeah, that absolutely makes a lot of sense. That you've achieved fluency. In the past, you've had these more intensive, immersive experiences, but now that you've achieved a high level of fluency, that it's just a part of your identity now. It's a language you use as a part of your daily life. And us native speakers too, we learn new words from reading fiction and nonfiction as well. So it sounds like you're pretty much on par with that. Is there a specific type of content that you like now, even if it's just for fun?
So for many years I was obsessed with audiobooks in English, and I think most of the books I consumed were in audio forms throughout my undergrad studies. It was my favorite, my go-to activity when I wanted to learn something new. I wanted to entertain myself, or just instead of listening to music on the commute, I would listen to audiobooks. And I think it had like a very profound effect on my English that I did not realize. It's like there are so many topics that I have listened to, I can talk about them in a very high level of sophistication. But there are other topics that I did not listen to with these audiobooks. Like I'm less comfortable, or I express myself in a more, let's say, basic way.
Sure.
So I do feel that that was for a long time a favorite activity. However, after I started my comprehensible input journey with Spanish, I honestly I try to do all of my listening and after I discovered CI, I try to do all my listening in a different language, either in Spanish or I'm learning Portuguese or French. However, I do occasionally listen to podcasts in English, because I say, even if you want to, you can't escape English. Like it's just like English is. I write my notes in English. My calendar is in English. I connect with lots of people through messages in English, even if they are Arabs. I feel more comfortable writing English. It's like I cannot escape it, even if I want to.
Sure. Yeah, and sometimes like you want to engage with like some source material in its original language. I have this question all the time too, because I'm a big reader, and I'm also trying to get a lot of input in Spanish at the more advanced level, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should try to find this book in English, or I should watch the Spanish dub of this show instead. But language is also very cultural too, and some things kind of just don't translate well, or the source material kind of has just like a different quality to it. I don't know, has this like X factor. I like to watch anime in Japanese, and I read the subtitles. I could choose to try to find the Spanish dubs. I have tried to do that at certain points, but I just really like watching it in the original language, even though it's not a language I understand. It just feels right sometimes to use the source material like as it exists in the original form. Anyway, that's going on a little bit of a tangent. So to wrap up the interview, I want to thank you, for sharing about your English journey. I think many of our viewers will relate to your journey and can learn from your journey. Do you have any advice, whether that's for English learners in general or advice for Arabic speakers who are trying to learn English currently?
I always say the solution to all language learning problems is more listening, and listening to something you understand, which is comprehensible input. You guys at EnglishSponge are doing a great job in providing that, and I think this is what people should be doing: listening. One thing I like to touch on is that for many English learners, it's something we were forced to do. We didn't have a choice but to go through the traditional way. And in many cases, that can be, for many people, a bit traumatizing. I felt it was traumatizing for me. I felt traumatized by the language learning. I hated learning languages until I discovered comprehensible input. In fact, there are people who tell me, "Oh, Hasan, you must be good at learning languages. This is why you were able to acquire Spanish." And I'm like, no, you have no clue. I've been in Canada, in Montreal for 10 years. I don't speak French. It's just because I was so afraid of going through this, trauma again of traditional language learning. Language learning for me wasn't something fun, and comprehensible input not just made it fun, made it easy and entertaining and fulfilling. There's something very profound about comprehensible input that makes you, it enables you to acquire the language and understand how people think. When you listen to people sharing their experiences, talking about what they love, their country, their passion, the music they listen to, all of these experiences you can never get from the best deck of Anki flashcards, never ever, or any vocabulary list. You need to listen to the language, and listen to the language in context, with a clear context. My advice to Arabs trying to learn English, or to anyone trying to learn English, is listen, and try. If you feel that English has been a burden on you, that you have to do it just to get your IELTS or to get a milestone achieved, try to the best of your ability to remove any stressors. So don't force yourself to speak too early. Don't force yourself to speak for a while. If you feel stressed, leave it, and trust me, it's gonna come. There will be a point. Just focus on listening. Leave the reading, leave the writing. Focus on listening, and all these other stuff will be, once you love the language. When it's the most important thing is that you enjoy the journey and love the language. Once you enjoy the language and rebuild this love relationship with the language instead of the anxiety relationship, that's when you can go and have fun with speaking. Speaking should be fun, should not be like, I don't know what to say, I'm afraid. This is the experience I went through, and many people go through. It took me years to not feel the anxiety in English. The anxiety that I acquired with the traditional language learning stayed with me for years. And I would say I did not for a second feel that in Spanish. Never felt anxious. Every word I said in Spanish, I said it with love, even if it was erroneous, it was incorrect. I enjoyed it. I didn't feel the guilt or the pressure. And this is, for me, is the core issue, is that we need to love the language. And so anything that causes you stress, get rid of it, at least temporarily, and go back when you feel, you're ready. Focus on listening. And if you have more time, just listen a bit more. This is my my advice.
Great. Thank you so much for that excellent advice that comes directly from your personal experience, learning both the traditional way and with input. Thank you so much. And where can people find you?
Thanks for the opportunity and for having me, and yeah, I'm very glad to share my experience. People can find me at arabicallthetime.com. Again, at arabicallthetime.com, we have the largest the largest collection of some of the easiest Arabic videos on the internet. I take so much pride in, having built this collection of super easy videos that can help people learn Arabic from zero, from scratch. Even if you don't know a single word in Arabic, you can listen and you can understand. And this is all you need to build a strong foundation in Arabic. Speaking, writing, reading, this can come later, this can wait. But the most important, the core of everything is listening, and this is what I provide at Arabic All the Time. And yeah, thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I definitely highly recommend going over to Arabic All the Time if you're at all interested in learning Arabic, or even read some really great blogs about language learning. They're super beneficial in my opinion, and they are written in your very excellent English. You can also find me over at Arabic All the Time in one video. Hasan and I did an interview kind of like this one, except I was speaking Arabic, and so you can find that over there too.
Right.
Thanks again, and yeah, we'll connect. We'll connect soon.
Thanks, Aliyah.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care.